So, motion to approve the minutes as written.
I move the minutes be approved as written.
Second.
Any corrections, deletions, or changes that anybody wants to make? Seeing none, those in favor?
You guys changed it. Well, you make a change. No, they were good.
Thank you, Kim.
I did.
All right, we're going to go right down on your business. The first thing we're going to do is the liquor license for Swig Restaurant.
Been doing that with it.
Get that out of the way real quick.
Oh, good.
Do we need to make a motion to waive the public hearing, or do
We
we?
need to make a motion to waive the public hearing.
I would, so moved.
Second.
Yeah.
Those in favor of waiving the public hearing? Okay? And those in favor of granting an application to Swig Restaurant for their liquor
I
license?
would make that motion.
Second.
Okay? Those in favor? That took a long time, huh?
Thank you for the food you brought. By the way.
My pleasure, anytime.
And the training. They brought food for one of our trainings. We
Oh,
donated.
nice.
So,
They're like that.
Town of Woolwich is fortunate to have you as one of our businesses.
We're fortunate to be standing still.
You can hang out as long as you want if you're trying to escape busyness. So is this something that he can take with him right now?
Absolutely. That would be
Absolutely.
amazing.
Ah,
Who says the wheels of government don't move swiftly?
Here you go, guys.
how come I have a pen from the Westin Hotel?
From the what?
The Westin Hotel.
Cost-cutting
Well,
measure.
I actually think it's the one that I swiped.
They still make one of the best cheeseburgers in the state of Maine, I can tell you that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Davis, you're probably gonna want to come closer.
You're up next.
Guys, thank you for having me. I just wanted to kind of touch base with you guys. As many postings have gone out online, Code Red is no longer Saginaw County's emergency notification system. We've transitioned to the RAVE platform. The platform allows us and city officials to send out any official notifications. This can be anything from road closures, oil advisories, avoid the area, you name it, as long as it deals with life safety or property preservation, a notice can be sent out to the public, whether that's email, text messages, phone calls, or even social media pages. So we're really trying to get people to sign up through the platform because there's so much that is actually involved into the system itself. We used it even just a couple of weeks ago during our minor heat wave. In the platform, if the resident has actually signed up and completed their entire profile, we can gather preparedness information from them. So it tells us, if somebody has access to transportation, if an evacuation order is issued, and just has different abilities than what the Code Red system allowed us to. They can go to our website. We've got QR codes all over the place. We've got some information down at the city office. And then they can always call our office for sign-up. So if anybody has questions on that, they can feel free to call our office and we can walk them through the steps to get them signed up and everything. So.
Do you have any handouts or anything that we could have here to give to people to
Yep.
encourage them to sign up? You've got them already?
We gave them to the city last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And so, and I've got more in my office, so if you ever run out, you can always call me and run them up this way. So.
We're about to do a mailing, public safety mailing to all residents.
Yep.
Is that something that we could add to this mailing?
Yep, absolutely, yeah.
Could we get like 1,500 brochures? Or
Yeah, so our sign-up sheet is a simple, just a document that we can send over to you
Okay.
guys, so that way it's all included and you can put it in there. The QR code takes you directly to the sign-up link, otherwise there's the website. If they fill out the information, they can also send it back to us. There's just some information that it asks for on there. But we always encourage everybody to sign up their own information because they can really tailor how they want those information and alerts sent to them rather than us trying to decipher all the information. So it's a handy tool. As it gets used more often, people will start to see more alerts, and then the city or the town also has the ability to send out their own alerts and things like that. They can notify of meetings that are coming up, just really different things that most people don't think of a mass notification system for. We've got it tailored a lot to being very customizable to the town's needs.
So how would the town do that? How would the town send out a notice?
So the town administrator has access, along with your local emergency management director
Okay.
has access to that. If anybody else is needing access, all they have to do is get Christine's permission, and then
Or Kim.
Kim's. Sorry. West Bath last week. Sorry.
That's right, West Bath. Yeah.
West Bath last week.
Administrator.
They just have to let them know. It's ultimately the administrator's authority on whether or not, because we are pushing out official notifications, we want to make sure that person's vetted and has that information available. That also doesn't stop us from sending a message, so you guys can call us and we can send out that message. You guys have access to the local town itself, where if it crosses multiple jurisdictions, then the EMA office would have to send that out. So.
And we would contact the EMA office, not the dispatch.
Correct.
And this is up and running now.
Yep, it is up live and running. If anybody actually signs, so the weather notifications are actually turned on. So anytime we have severe weather, the National Weather Service automatically pushes out those alerts. They have what is called a targeted alert. So what that means is if the address that is entered into the platform is within the polygon of the National Weather Service watch or warning, then you will receive that type of warning. So you're not getting overly bombarded with information that you're not wanting. And if it doesn't pertain to your area, then you're not receiving that alert. So it's really a targeted things. The other benefit to the system is, a lot of people travel into Bath to work. Not only can they sign up for the Town of Woolwich's alerts, you can also sign up for the City of Bath alerts. So we use the example of somebody, a boil water advisory. Somebody in Woolwich might want to take bottled water into work. So when the City of Bath sends out a boil water advisory, if they have signed up to receive the Bath alerts, then they will receive that information and have a heads up on how to prepare for that. So.
Very good.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody here.
See ya.
All right,
Stick it around.
we're gonna go back up to the selectmen's comments. Tom?
I got nothing today.
Me neither.
Oh, my God. Yeah, wait a minute. I'm gonna go outside and see if there's still a sun in the sky.
All right, I have just a couple things.
Yeah, okay.
So the board had asked me to talk with Dale Reno when he was here, and he started doing some of the repairs on the building about the handicap ramp. And I've spoken to Kim already about this. Dale thinks the ramp has a lot of life in it, left in it. He's suggesting sanding, repainting, screwing down some boards, but he doesn't think we need to rebuild it or redo it. I don't know what that costs. He also, Kim, I don't know if you or anybody minds, but he's thinking he can do that. He's thinking gray.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Because he looked at it, called me, but that's what he said. He's got more to do around here. He's got more to do with the North Station, or things to do with the North Station. But anyway, he's started in. Then I'll wait a few minutes. We can talk about the Williams Cemetery thing. I'll wait till we get hold of it.
Okay.
I have nothing on the selectmen's comments. Debbie, anything?
No.
All right. That takes care of the public. Town administrator's report.
I
Kim?
have a couple of things. So Seacoast came out a couple weeks ago to fix the camera, and they did not have a ladder. So they tried to borrow the fire engine's ladder, and that was a no-go. So they were supposed to send somebody out. I haven't seen them. I called Seacoast the other day, and they said that they don't have a truck in the area with a ladder on it, and as soon as they can find one, they'll send it over here, but it's not anytime in the near future. So
How big a ladder do they need? I've got several ladders. I can grab a ladder.
I have no idea.
Didn't he say, so, yeah, Sean had called about that and wanted to make sure he did the right thing, but yeah, I don't think the town would want any responsibility if something happened, they were on the ladder, so. But the guy had a ladder, but it wasn't tall enough, so he had like a 10 foot,
Yeah,
8 or
he
10
needs
foot
like a
ladder.
15.
He needs like a 15 foot ladder.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, so,
Yeah.
I don't know.
hopefully soon it'll get taken care of. I was gonna talk about end of the year, we had a small little hiccup while closing out the cash receipts. I was notified Monday morning, it was an error that did not affect the real estate versus the cash receipts, and I was informed it was a common problem during end of year, but they wanted just to make sure and double check the file, so we're not open for a couple hours, which I don't think anybody actually came in for the first couple hours, and then boom, we were busy. I was hoping Sean was here because I was kind of hoping that we could get the building sprayed down because the dead bugs are just.
So real quick on that, Dale's gonna do that.
Is he?
Dale said that he was gonna, I did mention that, he said that he was gonna high pressure wash and add something and at least do a couple of the.
Yeah, on the side of the building, the entrance
It's where
areas
the-
are so nasty.
It's where the lights are and the lights
Yeah.
go, all the.
Yeah.
But he did say that.
Oh, perfect.
So-
That's great.
Stay tuned for that.
Perfect. And the only other thing is I will be on vacation August 15th through the 26th, and I am also out on July 16th for a golf tournament.
Play golf?
I do play golf.
Huh.
Yes, I do.
Huh.
Let's just say I own a set of clubs, Alice. No, I'm actually all right. That's all I have.
What'd you say, the 5th to the 16th?
The 15th, August 15th through the 26th. I will be in Hawaii.
Oh.
Yes. So excited to go.
Wow.
So,
All right, thank you. Jack, anything?
I don't know, you got the complaints, problems, Kim?
no, actually, I forwarded an email to you from Jennifer Rich Smith about
I didn't read it, okay.
how pleased they were with paving on Fifth
Good.
Point.
I just want to pave Fifth Point and Walker Road. We've yet to do this end of the closet, and about 6,000 feet on Munford Road. So far, we're pretty well in the circle financially. The worst case can have to be another time meeting us up and raise much money. But we do the best we can do.
The Walker Road looks great.
Walker Road.
Great job on it.
No, they do a good job. They're a big company.
Yeah.
We've been, as you probably have heard, in the beginning, trying to get them pinpointed was difficult. They had quite a job in H from the working on nights for the state and the weather and so on. So we finally got them. And as Kim says, I guess everybody in Fifth Point was the hard one because it was a one-way road. But I guess we're going to through it and we're out of the woods. And that's good.
Yeah, they appreciated having all, you keeping them up to date about when to do all that. And I think Jenny's email also mentioned
I
that.
think everybody worked well together and it worked out fine.
Yeah. Yep,
That's
thank you.
good. So other than that, I don't know anything, everything else pretty good shape.
Good.
As we speak.
We're closing the bridge next week, right?
Next Monday, I think, right?
Monday.
Sage Road,
Next
okay.
Monday, yeah.
Yeah, the little bridge closes on the 8th.
Okay.
They got us information.
Yeah, I
Oh,
saw
one more
that.
thing.
Yeah.
Misspelled.
I know.
On both sides.
You're right, the word code.
Central Maine has contacted me in regard to the Mountain Road access to the power line.
Mm-hmm.
And I have asked them to direct all of their traffic out to Bradford Road and not use our Mountain Road.
Out to what road?
Mountain Road. In other words,
Out to Bradford Road.
I wanted to go to Bradford Road, both directions, coming in and out.
Okay.
I wanted to go back out to Bradford Road. So in the event the guy calls you, he's a nice gentleman to speak with. That is what I was asked for.
Okay.
It'll take the traffic, especially with the bridge closing, there's gonna be more traffic anyway, and so we send them off to Wisconsin.
How long is CMP going to be doing that project? Any
They
idea?
haven't started yet, they don't.
Well, they're
just getting them ready
making a
now.
bunch of noise out there.
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've asked them, since we've been so cooperative to work with, which we have been, if they would see if they could find us some money, but he didn't know if they would know. They have in other towns, they're all in Wisconsin and so on, they give them some road money.
Ah.
So I've asked at least, so I don't know if it ever materialized or not.
Okay, thanks, Jack. Codes officer. In June, we issued 7 building permits, 2 of which were for new homes. Also issued 10 plumbing permits, 5 of which were subsurface wastewater systems. He attended a Zoom 1-hour training session on subsurface wastewater regarding some of the new rules. Received a few complaints ranging from a possible building without a permit to a parking concern. Answering question sessions over the phone continue to come in, assisting people with permits and inquiries. Okay. Danny.
Ooh, I'll just make this an hour. No, I'll make it quick. We responded to 32 calls in the month of June, with 33 patients, transported 20, so it was a pretty busy month. We did mutual aid to Wiscasset 3 times and Richmond once when every other crew in the entire area was busy, but we kept the crew in town. We called for assistance from MC1 3 times, Wiscasset and Life Flight each once. Trying to tally up the calls for the January to June and add them to last year's to get our fiscal year total count. Right now, I still have to go through the paperwork, but we've had 196 calls since January, which is a huge uptick. That puts us about 376 for the fiscal year, and that's with one transport actually, that we did one. So the year before we had a lot of transport. So it just shows how many more calls we're getting this late. It's getting, but we're doing it. Personnel, Zach Miller has accepted the role of Deputy Director, EMS Director. So he's moving up into that position. We put out a letter to all the personnel if anybody is interested in filling his role, and also other roles that we're creating, that they send letters of intent, and I've already had several. So I'm going to go over that with the other officers, and we're going to decide together, and so that we can all work together. One of our newer EMTs finished their time as a third on shift, so he's just riding with another, so we can get him out there in the field, fill more shifts. And an EMT who formerly worked for us and stepped away during COVID has looked into coming back and getting the paperwork done, and will hopefully be riding soon. We also, we began compiling information. Last year we were informed by Medicare that we were selected, yay, to be this year's part of a survey for their mandatory Medicare Grand Ambulance data collection system, which is a 5-year project to see how much things actually cost, to see what they should set the rates for ambulance services, because they're way behind. And which means that I have until December to submit every piece of information in the world. So I'm working with the billing company to get how much we made, all that. Getting a list from dispatch of what they actually call to make sure, working with Maine EMS. So that's going to be my next 6 months. Our crew, we went with the fire department, underwent a 4-hour extrication training on June 23rd. Because of people's summer vacation schedules, we're not going to have an in-house training this month. But I've already sent information about local trainings that they can go to for free. And we will be in the Heritage Day, the Rescue 1 parade, and in the 5 Islands parade.
Oh, good. Okay.
We couldn't do Georgetown because it's at 11 o'clock and we'll be in Bath. So,
Sure.
You mean Wiscasset?
we're not doing Rescue 1. We're not
Doing Wiscasset, but you are doing Georgetown,
Yeah.
5 Islands.
5
Yeah,
Islands.
yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And we're doing Bath.
Yeah.
So, and we do have a duty crew in town. So, and that's it, unless you have any questions.
Any questions?
No, thank you.
Thanks, Dan. Sean, good to see you. Casual wins.
One call so far this year. Last I checked, I think it's 159 calls for the year.
One call this month.
Huh?
What did you say this year, this month? You have
One call this month.
This month, yeah.
And I think so far this year, I think last I saw was 159 for the year. I'll double check that. But not a lot going on. The station, Dale Reno came and did those protectors on the front of the doors. Those look pretty good, so I think those will work well for us. We did some other work on the back of the building. I got to chat with him. I'm not sure if he actually did some work at the door yet or not for us, but everything's looking good. So
The secret to that is just don't hit him with a truck.
Well, it's the exhaust piece. When it comes out of the building, and that exhaust piece slaps the building. That's what keeps
When
breaking.
you drive away, they remove it. Yeah.
He's doing something to the door that sets the alarm off.
Yeah, hopefully rebuilding it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. He seemed pretty confident he could get it working good for us, so that's good. Last piece of the safety work stuff, we got the final paperwork from them. Just got to meet with Kim and go over it, and then I guess have our safety committee meeting, if you will.
Okay.
When that emergency action plan next time?
Yes, I went
Yeah.
through it yesterday. We looked at it.
Yeah, we'll just do a brief meeting and go over it, and then I think we can submit that and move
Okay.
forward with that. And that'll be the last of safety work, so, yeah, that's all I got, so.
So Sean, real quick, so I talked to Frank,
Yeah.
he's gonna stop looking for fans.
Okay.
He went to the North Station, I gave him the code, he went in. He thinks the best thing to do is put a fan up above the rafters, call it
Yeah.
guys, but obviously it's exposed now.
Yeah.
So I'm on a job today, so he said it would probably be August
Okay.
before he gets to all that. But he thinks he can do this without a man lift thing if
Okay.
somebody's willing to help out or
Yeah.
work through it. Also would mention before you got here that I guess Dale's gonna watch the building some.
Okay.
I talked to him on the phone the other day and he brought it up, said he's gonna high pressure wash. Clean up the front or something, but
Yeah.
I think that's everything we talked about, right?
Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay, thanks, Sean. Old business, anybody? Anything?
Yes, how about the cemetery?
Cemetery,
Right,
yes.
so if you guys remember, you had me send off the Kristen's email to the folks that own the property for the cemetery, Daniel Kelly and Don Ferguson, and they have a response. Allison, you've seen it. Tommy, did you read it too?
No, I didn't see it.
So what they're saying is, if you recall, Kristen had mentioned that there's no clear deed to the cemetery to the family, so kind of to work with the landowner. So they're saying that we discussed this and are amendable to the following: marking the 3 ancient military graves only. Number 2 is removal of the additional yellow blue flags. Number 3 is marking of the corners at the present corner stake positions with markers of agreed upon size between the Williams family and these folks. 4 is the more permanent Williams family cemetery signage to be agreed upon between the 2 parties. 5, the owners would assume the caretaker responsibility, which these guys would take care of that. And 6, owners would receive notification prior to visitation. Which I think this is a good thing for us,
Put
right?
that right in our minutes.
Yeah. And I think this is a good thing, right? So we wouldn't have to appoint anybody else, but where do we go from here?
So,
I think the thing to do now is to send this to
Tim Williams?
Tim Williams. And I would say, as far as we're concerned, it's a done deal. I mean, it's, I think they've met the criteria that's required in the law. They're allowing him access, they're just asking to know when he's gonna access it.
yeah, and I think the
They're
law says
willing to-
reasonable
they're willing-
hours.
They're willing to mark the 4 corners.
Yeah.
I mean, and they're willing to let him put
Signage?
a sign,
Yeah.
you know, they don't want something that obviously neon lights or anything, but they want a reasonable sign. I think this is what we could hope for.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mr. Williams had reached out
This is a lot more than I thought.
that they would, yeah.
The initial meeting we had, or the initial blush, I didn't think they were gonna
Right,
go along
yeah.
with any of this, so I think that they're being very reasonable.
Yeah. And Mr. Williams had reached out the other day. I did tell him that we'd consulted with the town attorney and that we would, after the holiday, we'd get back, so.
So one of the questions, since they have veterans' graves, could they reach out to us about, you know,
The flags?
the flags and also maintenance?
I suppose they could, but the flags aren't a problem anyway, right?
Yeah.
It is, though, the graves are only marked with stones.
Yeah.
And I mean rocks, I'm
Yeah.
not just rock. So he's gonna put 3 flags, 3 markers there, but we don't know whose grave they're actually on.
Yeah,
It could be they're Revolutionary War
right.
people that, I mean, for all he knows, he could be marking a grave of a British soldier,
Right,
you know?
right.
I mean, he has no idea.
Right, do we,
But I mean,
But it's more the sentiment of it than anything.
well, yeah, and we did put that money aside for
Right.
cemetery, you know, help for cemeteries, graves, that, I'm going back to that state law
Yeah.
from 2016.
But
So,
those that don't know what we're talking about, we discovered an old cemetery on the Montswig Road
Mountain Road.
Mountain Road.
Was next to an old school up there, which the school no longer exists, and nobody, the people that bought the property knew there was a cemetery somewhere on their property, but they had no clue where it was. Well, it more or less defined where the cemetery is, and there's a gentleman from Phippsburg whose great-great-great-great-grandfather fought in the Revolution, and he's buried there, so he's asked to have it recognized, and that the property owners have agreed to, to a certain limited amount, what they required to do to go along with it. And I think it's wonderful all the way around.
Should we send,
I was going to say that. Do we?
So my question is, what about people who know about that cemetery, but are not part of the Williams family? How would they know who to contact before they went? Because I think I have heard that one person has already done that, has already been there.
They'd have to we can give them the landowner's name.
Yeah.
So it should just go through Kim?
Yeah.
And I don't know if you want to put that on, if there should be small words on the sign that say, get permission from the town office before. Answering.
You mean even
I
a
guess
sign
it
for
is the
cemetery?
I guess it originally was the Williams family cemetery.
Right, but there are people
But, I
who
think
might be
right.
outside of the Williams family area, or who just are interested in Revolutionary War cemeteries, or.
Yeah, so this is the problem. It is, in fact, it's in the history book, right? And I don't know if you've read about it, but Rowan did some work on it. But there's no deed. And so the town attorney says that there's no deed describing this, so the family has limited, I don't want to say rights, access or whatnot. So that's how so if the landowner doesn't want anybody to come, then they could do, and the sign that we're speaking of would probably be down in at the cemetery. You can't see this from the
Like Gould and stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So the question I have is, do we want to run the response by Kristen, or do we want to send the attorneys?
I think we should. I
Yeah,
think just
Might as well.
just to stay on the safe side of everything, let's send it to Kristen first.
Yeah, okay.
And then if she blesses it, then we'll send it to Mr. Williams.
Right, 'cause we could send-
Colonel Williams.
Well, we can let you know what her opinion, or her.
we should send, I think we should send send an acknowledgement to the landowners too, to say, we understand that you've agreed to be the caretakers of the veterans' graves, or, whatever the law requires.
All right, so no objection.
As old as this town is, there may be other cemeteries in this town that we don't know about. And who knows, if there were a family cemetery and nobody kept records,
Right.
we don't know who's buried in any of them.
So how big is it?
I think it's like 30 by 40 or something.
Is it?
Yeah, it's small.
It's it's not a
Okay.
huge
Is that
cemetery.
what we-
Because the only two that the town owns is the one across Route 1 from Montesquieu and this one.
yeah. So Kim, I'll reach out to her,
Okay.
and then by next week we'll figure it out.
Okay.
That's it.
So, let's move on to the catering application, which is the last thing to do tonight.
No.
Oh, no, we've got a
Yeah.
whole bunch of people,
Oh, yeah.
which isn't on here.
It was not, because I did not know they were going to be done until yesterday.
Okay. All right. We have Churchill Events. Oh, it's at the Narrows. Okay.
What's the date on it, David? Just, when is it?
Date of the event is August 17th of this year, at 5 p.m. to 10 p.m.
I would move we approve the catering application for the Narrows for that time.
I'll second.
Those in favor? Okay. Question that I always ask, do you guys want to do these, you want to make one motion for everybody, or do you want to do each one of them separately? There's quite a few.
Who are they?
Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Danny Everts, Candace Conrad, Candace Conrad,
Oh.
Candace Conrad, Kimberly Dalton. Kimberly Dalton and Kimberly Dalton, Alexia Alexander, just one time, Paul Dundee, and Opal Keith.
Oh. Now,
Okay, I guess I was thinking there was a planning board.
Yeah.
It's only once?
I know, I don't know why she didn't combine all the other ones for Candace and I onto one. But I do have a question, because one of the sheriff's deputy was in the other day, who is our shellfish, one of the shellfish wardens, and he was asking if the board was gonna appoint him. And
We should.
well, we've never done it before because they have a contract. Well, West Bath does. So Opal went ahead and drew up both deputies, so if you want to
I
appoint
think
them.
I think we should appoint him.
Okay.
Because we all choose to appoint John Hannah.
And we have two, it's two of them.
We have
right?
two, yeah.
Two of them. Al Huntington and
Yeah.
Garrett Olson.
Yep, yeah, that's right.
So you want to make a motion to accept
Approval,
the...
all of
approve?
them, yeah.
Yeah, so moved.
Yeah, second.
Those in favor?
Yep.
Okay.
So Hartfield didn't have to be appointed.
We just did.
We just did
We did.
his, the 1st of June, so we just went ahead and extended it till.
So, yeah, these are obviously tax collector,
Yeah.
treasurers. town clerk.
Opal is working on the planning board and all the other
Committee appointments.
committee appointments, so those will be coming along shortly.
Thank you.
So we made a motion, seconded. Did we vote on it?
We did.
I think we voted, yeah.
Yeah.
We did already. All right. So happy signing, everybody.
Kim, have there been any more applicants to the Climate Resilience Committee?
There were a couple of people that were interested. The gentleman that was in here talking about.
David?
Right, David.
Yeah, David, he filled one out.
Okay.
I think we have one other one. There was a lady that took an
I
application.
think it was
and
Lauren Mofford,
I
maybe.
don't remember.
Okay.
But I think we only have 2, maybe 3. So I
Well,
don't
it's-
know.
Okay. We have
It's
two
probably
people.
worth
Yeah.
appointing the first class
Yeah.
of members next week or whatever.
Yeah.
David wants to meet at the end of the month, so.
Okay.
You wanna-
I'll get you a stack here, and then here it comes. There you go. Get started on those. Allison, you have to sign where your name is. No, I'm just teasing.
Sign what?
No, I'm just teasing. I gotta skip over Dale, right?
Yeah, there's quite a few of them.
Hey, that's it.
That's it.
The last one. Anything else come before the board tonight? If not, a motion to adjourn. So moved. Second on that?
Second.
All right. Thank you.